Hello and welcome to Some Shit We Like, episode number 338. I remembered because I usually forget.
338?
338 episodes.
Oh my god, that's like, that? Yeah, that's like my birthday. I was on
338?
Yeah, I was born in March 1938.
Oh, well, it's 38 days in a month, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you meant year.
Yeah, I meant the year, obviously. Can't you tell by my age?
Yeah, you look really good for your age, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you're new to the show, we do this every Saturday between the hours of 9 and 12. And if you want to catch us, if you don't have time to watch us live, you can catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/user/SSWL network, where we put up clips of the show Tuesday through Thursday, and we put the video out on Friday. But if you would like to hear just the audio, perhaps you're driving and just want to listen to us, that's fine too. We put the audio up on Tuesday on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, pretty much anything. It's there. And if it's not there, let me know. And I'll add it to whatever platform you're using. At Some Shit We Like on Twitter. And today, as you can tell, we are not here with Bryce or Mike. Mike is out as well too.
Thank God.
I know.
Those two clowns. I got some shit that we don't like.
But Mike's mom is in the chat.
All
Welcome.
right.
I think Mike should be showing up in the chat probably soon too.
Right.
He said he was going to try to make it on the chat and then maybe even Skype him in if it's possible. So, we are here with Ryan O'Leary, director of The Back Seat.
Hello.
Hello, Ryan.
Well, it's so nice to see you again. It's
I
been
know.
so long.
It's been a whole, 8 hours?
Yeah.
We're probably gonna be we are gonna be talking mostly movies because that's the thing that we love, and I guess maybe throw in some video game stuff there. But for now, we have a lot of movie stuff to talk about because we both saw a movie. I don't know what should we start with first. Let's start with you, Mr.
What did I do?
So you're here because you got into the Sherman Oaks Film Festival.
Yes.
For the last weekend.
Yeah. Film played there last night. So obviously all this big promotion's going well because all my podcast appearances are after the screening. So I can't be like...
It kind of works out, yeah.
So it played at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival last night. Played in a nice block with 3 other lovely films. And very exciting... Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad was in the audience.
Great, yeah.
And he came up to me and said something nice about the film. And I'm like, yeah, you're great on Breaking Bad, which just feels weird to say to someone like, hey, you were really good on like the biggest show of the decade. But that was strange. But it was a good screening. I felt like it went well. Good crowd. And as you saw, we had my lead actor, Sam Bartholomew, which is not how you say his last name, I learned. Megan Carnes, our composer, was there. Our producer, Anthony Pedoni, was there. Highlight, I would say, of the night was Anthony Pedoni throwing... There was an actor that was attached to my film at one point who usually I'll talk about very vaguely. Anthony very clearly said who it was and said unkind words about this person and was not... Yeah, he was not hiding who it was, which was funny because there was a camera there recording the whole thing, so it's definitely going online.
I was only able to catch the last half, of the first film that got shown, which was a Skinny Pete film. But I have to say, all of the films are really strong. I liked all of them.
Yeah, it was good little bat. And I gotta say, more film festivals when they do short film blocks should keep it to just like 4 films because you actually get to absorb them. And having done this festival circuit with this short. A lot of times they'll program like 2 hours to 2.5 hours worth of shorts in a block, and by the time it's over, you don't remember anything. Even the ones you kind of like blend together, and you'll be like, why did that noir cop film have a cartoon in it? Oh wait, they're different films. And then you just walk away not remembering anything. So it was cool. And the guy putting together the festival, Jeff Howard, was really sweet, nice, really gave a shit.
Yeah, he was really authentic and really enjoyed.
You could tell he knew each film.
Yeah, he took his time with each film, which is great. But yeah, I totally get that because I go see the Oscar shorts and like it's just like a lot in one like hour block, and like
and
they
those
just
are
end up
always
all
good
mushing.
too.
Yeah, they are
You
good.
don't remember. It's like the worst way to watch them.
Yeah, because I only end up remembering like maybe one or two that really stood out, but with this like all of them stood out because it was only 4 in that block that you had.
And doing the Q&A, they did the Q&As individually instead of all at once. So what usually happens is they'll have all the filmmakers get up at once for a block and do the Q&As, and it's just awkward. One of the more awkward times was in Australia last month. They put my movie played before this feature that won the grand jury prize at South by Southwest. So instead of just doing a brief Q&A with me, they called both of us up at the same time. So this like 25, 30-minute Q&A was like 90% directed at the person who made the feature, which makes plenty of sense. So I'm just standing there like an asshole being like, yeah. But it was weird. That what was strange about that experience was the guy moderating the Q&A found me like 2 days later and apologized because he thought he did a bad job, but he didn't do a bad job. Really, they should have just been like, all right, we're gonna do a very quick Q&A with the short person, and then we'll bring up the feature filmmaker and do a more in-depth one. Anyway, that's little inside baseball, as they say, inside baseball.
Inside baseball, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of great people were there.
Yeah, you were networking hard.
Yeah, like
this guy was giving.
I'm not
he
a
gave
social
out all your
person.
business cards.
Yeah, I think I have like one left.
Oh, goddamn.
And it wasn't necessarily just handing them out. It was just like they asked me what I did, and I'm like, oh, I do this.
Yeah.
You know, so like here's a card if you want it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even force it on anyone. Really,
which is like typically the Rick method is just forcing things on people and just being like,
oh yeah, of
take
course.
my card,
Exactly.
take it, listen to my podcast, get on the stream. That's what you sound like.
Oh yeah, definitely sound like that. But yeah, it was actually social because most people don't know in real life I'm really not that social.
Oh, disgusting! Can someone kick this guy out? Making fun of trans folk by saying Herman. What is this? I don't like this person. 1023. Oh my gosh! Sorry guys. Sorry that we got a troll in the room. We got a troll.
He's Katie Cheesy Wolf. Don't kick him out.
But Cheesy, if you want to harass Herman, please.
Welcome Dan Herman to the show.
Hey Dan Herman, maybe you can answer this because people were asking, why didn't you come out to our Los Angeles
why didn't
premiere?
you come out, Mr. Producer?
Yeah, like Padoni was asking. I guess it's weird to wait.
Yeah,
for
then you got it.
You probably learned this.
But I almost actually was gonna impersonate Herman for a second.
Please do it.
And then,
do your Herman.
No. I meant like at the
oh yeah, that
the screen. Remember, I said I'll just say I'm Dan Herman.
That would have been funny. That's cool. We've replaced Herman with Skinny Pete now. So like all those little Herman cameos in my films from now on, we're gonna put Skinny Pete in instead. Who also, by the way, just obviously doesn't look like a meth head in person. So
Not at all.
It was kind of hard to figure out. Like hearing it during the Q&A, I'm like, oh fuck, that's Skinny Pete. It's very strange. This has basically been the only thing
I feel like you have no excuse, Herman, because you can easily come stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
So that saves you like $500 right there.
Yeah. And Herman drives now, so he
and you could borrow my car.
Honestly, I wouldn't let Herman drive your car.
You can't borrow my car then?
But you could in theory.
But I'm glad you're here, Herman. Yeah, fun times, man. Fun times.
Yeah, it's good screening, and our Sammy, I always gotta say this. Sam, leading man, Sam. What a sweet boy.
That dude's awesome.
What a kind soul.
Really cool.
And then shout out to Megan, our composer, who had pneumonia and still came out and did the Q&A.
That's amazing.
And someone asked her to speak up during the Q&A. She's like, I literally had pneumonia. And obviously Padoni just being the king.
It's cool to meet him too.
You gotta have him
guy
on the podcast. Like you'll probably get banned from every service possible because he'll like let out government secrets or something. But he's awesome.
Yeah, we probably should get him on one day.
You should, yeah.
Yeah. Any other festivals coming up for you, or was this
That's the other unfortunate thing with this being the time. This happened to me like with the backseat when I was out here and did a bunch of press. There's not that many film festivals in December or January period. So until like February, the movie's probably not playing anywhere else again. So like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of press for where I have to be like, where are you guys gonna see the movie? It'll play. I think it'll probably and maybe this is wishful.
I don't know how many you submitted.
There's gonna be a few more. Definitely I would say probably between February and July, and then it will be done, and we'll never talk about it again. But I think there's a good chance it'll be playing in LA again, because the dude running this festival, I didn't realize it at the time, but he runs another festival that we submitted to that's based out here. So I think it'll be back out here in a few months.
Well, if you come back out here, then you can do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Always do it.
And then Herman should be out here too. God damn it. God damn it, Herman.
Yeah, Pedoni was so angry.
Anyways, should we get into some reviews? Or
sure. Guide me, my friend.
All right. So let's get into. I want you to talk about the Irishman, because you went to the special.
Sure. So I went to two. Yeah. So I had like one of the best movie going days of my life a couple weeks ago. My girlfriend and I, I wanted to see the Irishman. It was playing at a Broadway theater. Yeah, Herman, you did it too. Guess what? You're not on the show, so you don't get to tell your story, fucker. But I also wanted to see Marriage Story, the new Noah Baumbach movie, which is weird because both these movies will be on Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know that was his movie.
Yeah, so I went to see. So we started the day with Marriage Story, which, by the way, you want to know something crazy? Is a thing that apparently happens. The train we were gonna catch came about 10 minutes early. So it left without us, and after buying, and the thing is, my girlfriend just bought the train tickets as we got there, and basically in order to catch them, I ended up having to drive into the city anyway. But anyway, we get there, it was playing at the Paris Theater, which is a single-screen theater that closed down, and I gotta say, Marriage Story, as of now, I think is my favorite movie of the year. It's incredible. Adam Driver's probably gonna win an Oscar, and it's incredibly moving and fair, and not even that depressing. Has really fun supporting performances from I'm drawing a blank, from Laura Dern. You got Ray Liotta being like a really douchey.
You're talking about.
Yeah, he plays like a douchey lawyer in it. You got Alan Alda kicking ass, and then obviously ScarJo giving one hell of a performance. But anyway, wonderful movie. And then the second film we saw was The Irishman at the Belasco Theater, which is a fucking Broadway theater. It seats like 1,000 people, and it was packed. It was cool because they had different stuff from the movie, and they gave out like free posters and fake newspapers. And what was really interesting is it's a 3.5-hour movie, and it's excellent. It's up there with other Scorsese movies.
3.5 hours?
Yeah, 3.5 hours, but it kind of needs its runtime to tell its story. Oh yeah, but it earns it. Like it should be as long as it is. But anyway, what's interesting is, since it's a Broadway theater, the seats are there's not a lot of leg room. So it's really pretty much, if you're seated anywhere near the middle, you have to walk across like 20 people on each side to get to an aisle to like go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's annoying.
So like the dumbass, well, here's the thing, the stupid people in front of us, this like couple, they were like because they were selling drinks there because the Broadway theater, so like they had themed drinks, but you can see them like pounding their drinks at the very beginning of the like
rookie mistake.
Yeah, and it was like, you guys know it's a 3.5-hour movie. So anyway, in the last half hour or so of the movie, this guy had to get up to go to the bathroom, and they wouldn't let him through it. People were just like, no, we're not getting up, because it was hard, logistically hard. Anyway, long story short, the guy ended up going towards the other side and missing the very end of the movie. It's just like, man, maybe you shouldn't have had like a full drink at the beginning of the movie. Anyway, Irishman's incredible. If you live in New York, I would say see it at the Belasco Theater if you can. I recommend seeing it on the big screen, but it'll be on Netflix. It'll be on Netflix Wednesday. You have the pause button, but definitely don't watch it distracted. They talk a lot about the de-aging effects, which I honestly think work pretty well. The only thing that's weird is, I wish there's a couple of scenes where Robert De Niro is supposed to be like kind of, doing some tough guy stuff, like hurting people and doing things, but it's clearly current Robert De Niro's body, so he doesn't really move the way like a 30 or 40-year-old would. So even though his face looks right,
the way he moves.
Yeah, like there's he at one point, I don't know if this is maybe is a spoiler, not really, but he like throws someone through a window, kind of like shoves him, but like the way his body, like it just doesn't quite look right, and I wonder why for those parts, why didn't they just use a body double since they were gonna fuck with the face anyway? But anyway, you know, that's a very minor thing, but it's a excellent movie, and it's up there on the upper end of Scorsese movies for sure. And it's definitely, you know, like people are saying, it kind of takes control of like the people who seem to think that Scorsese's movies are endorsing the violence and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, Herman said it's a wide shot, so it looks
yeah, which
weirder.
is true. Like it's just I think they were probably so focused on getting the tech part right where they didn't stop to think like, oh, maybe we, you know, seeing a guy in his 70s roughhousing someone is gonna, even though his face looks young, it's just the like. But anyway, it's
I want to
still
see it, but like, goddamn, that's long. I'm gonna have to watch it at home.
Watch it at home. Take your time, and it's wonderful, and it has a very strong ending that makes you go, "Wow, damn, there's an ending." Pacino kind of steals the show, and Sam, our lead actor of The Lost Weekend, had some nits to pick with De Niro's performance.
That's right.
Anyway, he could speak for himself.
Yeah.
We should have that dude on the show while he's living, you know, while he's temporarily.
Oh, fuck, that's right, yeah.
You probably got him. You might have to, like, pick him up or some shit. I don't know if he has a car.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, Sam. We gotta have Sam on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Herman.
I saw your pictures, and it looked like it was really
it's a cool event.
So.
It was like, and just seeing those two, like, it really was one of the best movie going days I've ever had, because they were both, you know, in like the top 3 or 4 movies I've seen this year, and really incredible. But yeah, Herman, I don't know if you heard, but apparently I've been saying Sam's last name wrong. I'm not going to try to say it again now, but the way he said it at the Q&A was different. And what's fucked up is I definitely asked Sam how to pronounce his name one of the first times I talked to him, so I was pretty confident I'd been saying it right. So Sam V, we'll call him, because I'm sure he's cool with that.
Mike said in the chat about, because we watched the trailer for The Irishman.
Yeah.
And he's like that. These fuckers are too old to be tough guys.
Mm-hmm. Well,
run that tape back.
Yeah, like a good chunk of the movie, though. Anyway, you gotta see it.
I'm gonna see it. I gotta see it. It's Scorsese, so
yeah, it's gonna be great. It's
even though he trash Marvel, I still gotta see it.
I think he gets the
that's his opinion.
Too. Yeah, he gets to put his opinion out there, and if you read the New York Times piece too, it's not really as cut and dry. He elaborates on his opinion, and I still kind of don't care what he has to say. I got my own quibble quabbles with the MCU, but yeah.
Cool. So something that we both watched is Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, you're skipping the other thing?
Oh, we'll go back to it.
We'll go back. All right, I just want to make sure, because the other thing is weird.
Let's want to do that one first.
I go either way. We go Jojo Rabbit. We can go. Boy, you announced it. So yeah, we saw Jojo Rabbit, imaginary Hitler movie.
Yeah, it's we didn't see this trailer on the podcast, so Mike might not. Oh, Mike wants to see it. Okay, so he has seen the trailer. So it's like a weird movie to describe, really, because it's kind of like a dark black comedy, but not.
Yeah,
in a sense.
It's got dramatic elements.
Yeah,
it's historical fiction.
Yeah,
and you got Taika Waititi playing.
That was funny.
Hitler.
That was fucking hilarious.
Later, dude.
Oh, Mike's taking off. Let's get going. Okay, later, Mike.
All right, so now that Mike guy, what a poop sandwich. But you had thoughts on Jojo.
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. It was uncomfortably funny, and it had a good story though. I thought the story was great. I thought it was really uncomfortable. I can put it that way, but it was definitely a movie I think people should watch.
Yeah,
because it kind of gives a wide view of. It's about the little kid being put in a situation. He's basically a Nazi and ends up finding.
Later, Herman. We're gonna talk some about Herman.
Finding someone living in his a Jewish girl living in his house.
Yeah.
So he has conflicted now on what to do. But the performance between the kid and the girl I thought were really good. And Scarlett Johansson was great too, but I think hats off to, I can never say his name right.
Taika Waititi?
Yeah, for playing Hitler.
Well, he's apparently Jewish, which I didn't
know, he is.
Which I guess is why he was comfortable doing it. Yeah, I would say I was more on the middle with the movie. I liked the first 20 to 30 minutes a lot, and then it kind of lost me at chunks, but I didn't think it was bad, but I was definitely more on the middle side. I don't like this criticism. I don't like saying this criticism because it could come off mean-spirited, but I didn't think the kid was quite good enough to me to carry that movie. He wasn't bad, but like when I saw Honey Boy 2 nights ago, and the kid in that movie is phenomenal. Like he's on par with all the other actors, whereas like the main kid, I don't know, I didn't think he had quite the chops. And then Taika Waititi movies, to me, tend to always have side characters who I think are amazing, and I kind of wish the movies were more about them. In this case, like I thought the kid's like best friend, who's only in a hand, he was so good and so funny,
every scene.
And he had like a good purpose in the story. But yeah, like I said, I was really into it for a while, got less into it, but there's stuff I liked a lot about. Like I liked the music choices.
Yes,
I thought were great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I came down more in the middle. Also, it was kind of interesting. There's a film festival that my film played at where it was almost all small movies you've never heard of. However, one of the feature films in competition was Jojo Rabbit, and guess what swept the awards? Jojo Rabbit. But it's just like, how do you put like put this major movie that has real distribution in competition with like things that people made for no money with no resources? But anyway, that had nothing to do with my opinion of the film itself. But yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things that popped out for me too, is the music choices in this were really good. Yeah, I definitely liked their choices for that. What else do I have here? I wrote some notes. It wasn't. Let's see. It wasn't really like. It didn't really end where I thought it was gonna end. Because like where I thought it was gonna end, it didn't, and it just kept continuing.
Yeah.
So when I saw it continue from there, I was like, oh really? It's gonna keep going. I kind of thought like, wow, this should be like I don't want to say where, 'cause it's spoilers, but like, I think it should. I think it probably should have ended here. Yeah. But then it went on, and I thought it was a great conclusion.
And I thought it was a very bold choice for it to be so pro-Hitler and pro-Nazi. Like I just thought, wow, what a strange stance to take, and to like be, pro-Donald Trump, pro. Anyway, I was gonna riff on that a little further, but I was like, I don't know if Mike's mom needs to hear the joke I was gonna make. I'll whisper it in your ear, Ray.
But yeah, I thought the kid was great. I really think he did just fine. I actually would like to see it again.
Yeah, do it, boy.
And I probably can, because I have AMC.
It's awesome, man.
It's nice.
It's basically the better than Movie Pass that just works. So if you have a decent AMC, because I know some AMCs suck. I'm fortunate where one by me is pretty nice.
Yeah. What's going on?
I was just gonna make a joke about the movie being pro Auschwitz, which would have been too much. that was the joke.
What was the joke?
That the movie it was a bold stance to be pro Auschwitz and pro concentration camp.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I wasn't gonna do it. But anyway.
Yeah, it's like I said, the movie was.
Yeah, the movie.
It was good, but it was
was
like uncomfortably good.
And I think it rode the line of being sensitive to the atrocities of what happened, but also gives you a good view on how maybe decent people could get caught up in something like that.
Right. I think some people can misread it.
And then how just meeting other people, the way he meets that girl, and it kind of changes his worldview. Like my issues with the movie.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah,
like
it
I
changed
would say, his view on
the things I would say the movie, like, it's, I don't have any issue with the movie's message, or and I think like the strengths of it are within that, where it's like riding the line. Like my issues come down to just storytelling stuff, not big thematic shit. I don't really have an issue with it.
So yeah, Jojo Rabbit. I really recommend people to go see this movie.
Can we talk for a minute about how Scarlett Johansson, I'm sure you talked about it, but just how she's like, every chance she gets in an interview seems to want to say something that's just going to ruin her career. Whether it's out of nowhere bringing up defending working with Woody Allen and wanting to work with him again. Like, she would after seeing Marriage Story, I would say she would be the front runner to win Best Leading Actress this year. But because she keeps just going out of her way to say dumb shit in interviews, like Renee Zellweger is gonna probably get it. Which Renee Zellweger is great in that movie Judy, but that movie Judy's not good. It's not a good movie. It's like a made-for-TV quality movie, but she is very good in it. But I'm just saying, ScarJo, what are you doing? You don't need to. I feel so bad for her publicist because like she's such a great actress and she's just kind of pooping the bed lately with just like no one's even asking her about certain things, and she's just like, hey, I'm gonna say something controversial that people have strong feelings about for no reason in the year where I'm most likely to win an Academy Award. So Scarlett, listen to me, come on.
Yeah, new publicist right here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jojo Rabbit, go check it out if it's playing by you. And we can move on to the next topic, which is we were talking about this offline. Because you showed me some of the movies that you watched recently.
Oh yeah.
And one of the movies you put on there was Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And I actually recently rewatched that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because
what brought it on for you? Because for me, it was the Unspooled podcast, which they basically each week they pick a different movie from the AFI's top 100 movies and have like a pretty fun and in-depth conversation that gives like historical perspective as well. And I knew that was coming up, and I was like, I have the Blu-ray of Forrest Gump. It's been a few years. That's like a very pleasant movie to watch. But I also know a lot of people who are super critical of it. So I'm like, yeah, it's been like almost 10 years. I'm going to watch it again. And I watched it, and I remembered, yeah, it's a really good time, this movie. It's very, just...
You did still enjoy it.
I think it's a pleasant, uplifting little movie. I don't think it has of necessarily interesting to say, but I don't care about that in that movie. I know a lot of people's criticism is that he goes through all these historic events, but like doesn't really do anything with it. And like, I guess theoretically you could have made a similar movie that was more critical of things like the government and like, but like, I don't really see Forrest Gump as that
like
movie.
A whole different movie.
Yeah, like I just see it as this. I see it as this pleasant romp that like is kind of long, but like doesn't feel that long, and like I don't know. I still like Forrest Gump. I would say it does suck. It did come out in '94, and it won Best Picture over Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption, which I think both those movies are a lot better. But bye. But I thought, but yeah, after rewatching, I'm like, it's still a good movie. I think it's a really good movie. Like I don't think it's one of the best ever, but I think it's very good. And a lot of movies aren't one of the best ever. And the special effects mostly still hold up.
Yeah, they do.
The one thing though I will say is just because I've seen like behind the scenes stuff and pictures with Lieutenant Dan. Hey, look, it's Megan.
Oh, hey, Megan.
Megan, surviving pneumonia. Oh gosh. So with Forrest Gump, with Lieutenant Dan's legs, you do kind of notice because the effect looks good, but what I notice, it's like conveniently there's like his legs are never like within that close to things because they green screen them out,
right?
like these green sucks. But also that movie has, did you notice this too? It has like a weird sound mix where it's like it's like a very quiet mix. And then when you get to like Vietnam, it's
extremely loud.
Yeah, because like I was listening to it with a 5.1 speakers DTS on a Blu-ray.
Oh, well, I don't got that here.
Yeah, like, it was like it was weird because I was having to turn everything up like a good 10 or 12 notches like above a normal volume for a Blu-ray. And then when you get to Vietnam, it was awesome. But I live in an apartment, so it was a little scary because it's just like people are gonna think I'm getting shot or something. But really showy surround sound mix during those sections. And there is a little fun fact I learned is from the Unspooled podcast. Apparently the actor who played Bubba, a couple things. One, he had a hard time getting work after that movie, even though he's great, because people thought that was really his lip. That was all fucked up, which it wasn't. And then the other thing is people always go up to him and ask him questions about the Bubba Gump shrimp, like the restaurant. And he actually tells people not to go there because it's owned by like Shell or one of the big oil companies. And like he doesn't see any money from it. And like in fact it goes to some of the most evil people in the world. But anyway, I'm stealing all that from a totally different podcast that we
That's
have
crazy.
nothing to do with. But yeah, very interesting.
So yeah, what brought it up for me was Forrest Gump was because I was talking to my dad about the Tarantino movie that just came out earlier this year.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
And I kind of told him like, yeah, it's kind of I wouldn't say it's exactly like Forrest Gump. I just said it kind of has like that mix in of like alternate fiction or reality. And then, I brought Forrest Gump up, and I'm like, I want to watch Forrest Gump. It's been a while since I've watched it. I probably haven't seen it in like 10 years or so. So I popped it in, and I watched it, and I still love the movie. Yeah. The movie's great.
And have you ever, I know someone that we don't like to talk about these days for, good reasons in a lot of ways, but Woody Allen made this movie Zelig, like that came out like a good decade or two before Forrest Gump, which does a lot of similar stuff.
Really?
It's a lot of like Woody Allen's character showing up in these historical events. But that movie's definitely quite a bit different other than that specific thing. I wonder if the folks in the chat, are they pro Gump or no Gump? Because I'm just surprised at how many people like hate the movie. Apparently Bruce Springsteen really doesn't like Forrest Gump. And there's a line, it's one of the only songs where he like says the F word. Is like,
and it's about Forrest Gump?
Sort of about Forrest Gump.
Wow, I didn't know people didn't like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's apparently a big thing in like the...
A darling movie.
People see it as this like kind of pro-military, nationalistic movie. And it's like I don't like exactly what I agree. It's weird. I agree with the criticism that Megan's saying, but like I also just think it's pretty watchable and pleasant. Like I think it doesn't really have anything to say, which I guess is gonna not make it like high art.
I don't know. I just didn't see it that way. I just see it as this person going through all these different events throughout the year.
Also, something that's kind of ruined the movie for me, and it's ruined Fight Club as well. There's this guy from, I want to say he's from Pakistan, and he always replies his little acting reel to any like famous director you see on Twitter. In like the first replies to like any other tweets is this dude, and he has a really thick accent, and his reel is him just imitating famous lines from movies. And I feel like it actually has like, so he'll put on like a Forrest Gump looking thing, and anyway, it's very funny because he's not anyway. Go on Twitter, you'll find this guy.
I'll have to find him, yeah.
Yeah, I realize, oh no, I'm being mean to some poor guy who thinks that he's going to get cast in Judd Apatow's movie by doing his Forrest Gump impression. But,
I really still like that movie a lot.
By the way, you should have Megan on the show proper when she doesn't have pneumonia. Because,
yeah, like I said, anyone's welcome to come on the show.
Megan can talk stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, Megan, if you ever want to come on the show, more than welcome to, for sure.
But
yeah, Forrest Gump. Definitely still love the movie. I can't, as far as you were talking about the Lieutenant Dan and the Green screen of his legs. Like, I don't think I noticed it. Maybe because I don't have a better TV
the
like
effect,
you do.
No, well, the effect looks
But
good.
I thought everything still holds up, even when he goes to get the award.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in black and white. Like I thought that still looked fine. I did kind of notice it.
You can see this
still
scene,
see
if you
it
stare closely at
enough.
the mouse.
Yeah,
you can see
you
it.
can still see it.
And it doesn't quite look, but it is impressive that the effects in that movie looks better
that
than
long ago,
stuff
like,
you'll see today.
Yeah.
And then, like, I also find with a lot of movies today with their CG, it almost looks better in the theater when it's all big, but then when it's on a smaller TV and you could kind of see how it fits into the background. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, that's my criticism of.
Yeah, I still don't have anything bad to say about that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, and I think it's really good.
Yeah, we're talk spoilers.
You can get around it, but Megan, have you watched it, or have you heard? Because I think the score for the show is incredible.
Dude, the score for that show is amazing.
so good.
Like the way that they ride the line
thing.
between like Western and sci-fi is really good.
Yeah, Megan, just try to look up the score somewhere. Like, it's pretty nutty. It's the dude who did. I think he did the score for Black Panther. But
yes, he did.
Which I honestly don't remember the score for that movie at all. But the Mandalorian, I think, like, out of all the things I've been really impressed with, is the score so distinct. And I gotta say that with Disney Plus, they're a very new service, but they have a lot of money, so I don't feel bad being a little critical of them. Their HDR situation doesn't work right on a lot of TVs still, including mine. And basically, it looks like shit now.
Why is it yours specifically?
So it's not just mine. So HDR is very complicated. It has to do with the signal that they're sending to the TV / whatever device it's connected to. And basically, when you get a bad HDR signal, it'll come up super dark. And I calibrated my TV, and HDR on Netflix and other services looks fine. But basically, for whatever reason, it seems to work on I'm trying to think of what brand TV. But anyway, with certain TVs, people aren't having any issues, and it looks amazing. But like, it's so muddy that we end up watching it on the PS4, which still Disney Plus isn't HDR compatible on the PS4 just yet. So I've been watching it in 1080p, and it looks great. But I do wish, considering they're fucking Disney, that they figured it out. But
well, I mean,
it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I feel like they've kind of been fucking up on a little bit of everything on their whole thing, because like there's a lot of shows on there that are out of order. Mm-hmm. Like Spider-Man the animated series is in 1 season.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys! You're just launching a major streaming service. How are you goofing on that?
And the Simpsons were all like
the wrong aspect ratio.
And
you know what I heard too? So they announced they're fixing it, and I hope this isn't
not
true.
till 2020.
Yeah, but here's the other thing I heard, which I hope isn't true. Granted, I don't know. I've seen enough Simpsons in my life where like. But anyway, that's not the point of me saying this. But I heard that the proper aspect ratio versions aren't going to be in HD. They're going to be in like 480. Which is like, it kind of sucks. Yeah, that's if it's true. If it's true, I hear things through some grapevines, and some of these grapevines might be full of shit. So
interesting.
No,
but yeah, back in the Mandalorian. It's like I said, it reminds me of Firefly, and it also reminds me of like the early Star Wars.
Yeah,
and that's what I absolutely love about it.
And it somehow makes it work where they have a main character who, as of yet, you don't see his face. It's just a mask. Like, you don't even get a hint of expression, but it works. And the other thing I really like about it is how short the episodes are, because they're not doing the thing that a lot of streaming services do, where they're like, all right, if it's not a comedy, it's got to be 55 minutes to an hour and change.
Long or something. Yeah.
There's really no. Although I've heard some people have the hot take that second episode is entirely filler, but I don't really agree with that.
The second episode?
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, and then there's obviously the thing that's sort of a spoiler, but making its rounds with a certain character, adorable. Is all I gotta say.
Adorable, yeah. Yeah, that second episode was basically like a video game side quest.
Yeah.
Which is something that a lot of people have been saying. I said in the last time I talked about it too, is like, this plays out like a video game, in my opinion. Which is I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I don't. There's a lot of great video games out there that are very narrative, and yeah, I'm loving the hell out of this show. It's amazing, like how much they can Pedro Pascal,
yep.
His name, like can. I mean, it also has to do with the help with like the music and the tone and the way everything looks for him to act out and show emotion while wearing a mask.
Yep.
I think that's really impressive.
And I wonder if we'll see his face at some point. I feel like we will eventually.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, who knows? Yeah. But like the whole Mandalorian thing is like they don't take off their helmets. It's just a thing that they don't do. But he could do it.
I think, and also I gotta say, I think it's great that after the next one, we're going to be getting a break from Star Wars movies, because I want it to be special again.
Yeah, we got the Rise of Skywalker coming out.
And dude, what a great couple months for Adam Driver, between Marriage Story, The Report, and then Star Wars, all getting their wider releases.
He's a busy man.
He is, and what I hadn't realized, because I've seen I've seen a lot of stuff that he's in, but for whatever reason, Marriage Story is where it hit me. I'm like, this dude's massive. He's like a fucking tree. Big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you and him could stand side by side. Obviously, you're way more handsome and talented.
Oh, hell no. He's way better looking than I am.
I don't know. I think if we were to take a poll.
Adam Driver,
great actor. I think he's one of the best. And he's worked with... What a guy. He's worked with everyone at this point. He's only been actively working for like 10 or so years.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Like he's been in a lot.
So he's worked with, I believe he's worked with the Coen brothers, Scorsese. Obviously J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson. Yeah. He's worked with Lena Dunham. He's worked with Noah Baumbach 4 times. He's done, I know I'm forgetting some like heavy, Jim Jarmusch. Basically, like every heavy hitter filmmaker seems to be getting there. So I feel like he's just got to work with like David Fincher. He's worked with Spielberg. But yeah, I feel like, he was in Lincoln.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
I have to watch that again.
Yeah, so Black Klansman, Spike Lee. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, he was in that one. Yeah. I really love that movie. I think
you spelled it right with the way because with the KKK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Black Klansman.
No, I think you spelled it right. Yeah.
Black Klansman's great. Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, he's in every, and the cool thing is he was married and had a kid that somehow he kept his kid secret from the press successfully for 2 years. Like, how do you pull that? Especially living in Brooklyn, where like you have to like be public, and he's also like, a big guy. Like, good job, Adam Driver.
How tall is he?
He's 6. Well, obviously he's tall. I could look it up, but that feels rude. But anyway, like, we could talk about. Yeah. We should just make this some Adam Driver we like.
Some Adam Driver.
Oh yeah, good.
I'm totally looking at it.
Yeah.
Driver.
Oh yeah, you worked with Terry Gilliam as well. If you keep going down, I think it's where it will usually down, say. Yeah. 6'2" and a half.
But that's the same as tall as me.
Really, you're only 6'2"? Yeah. Oh my god.
So
I just assumed you were like 7'1".
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm Conan O'Brien tall.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien tall with the Conan O'Brien wit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw the Shia LaBeouf movie.
Honey Boy. Yeah,
really, really good. The kid in it's phenomenal. Has a really cool score. Really tight, interesting movie. I heard 1 or 2 people who are critical of it calling it like a vanity, like ego stroking project. But I'm like, I don't know. The movie kind of gives you an understanding of how much his like life sucks or sucked, but it also still makes him kind of look like a dick. And people are going to talk a lot how he's playing his own dad in the movie, which is interesting. But I think it's a pretty great movie outside of that. One of the best child performances I've seen in a long time. And the kid, oddly enough, is in Ford v Ferrari. He's like Christian Bale's son, and with the kid, what's his name? Yeah, Noah Jupe is his name.
Jupe.
Great actor.
I know it's kind of like his own little vanity.
It seems like it would be, but
a part of me, like, I think if it was any other actor, I probably wouldn't want to. I feel like it's kind of like in almost.
Yeah, but it's like, it's about abuse and stuff and mental illness.
No, I know, but because of like
knowing
the stories about him, like I am curious.
Exactly. Yeah, like you get like
he's gone through some
perspective, and it's not. It's often a bit of a bummer, and also Natasha Lyonne still has like proper billing, but spoiler, you wouldn't even know she was in the movie if it wasn't for the credits because they cut her almost out entirely. But.
Yeah. Well, thanks of course for coming on. I mean, we're gonna pull you on either way, whether you liked it or not. So, but that's going to do it for this week. Yeah. So thanks for everyone that's showing up. Megan, Cheesy, Wolf. Mike's mom. Herman.
Fuck Herman.
Fuck Herman.
And let's just go over our social security numbers, our credit card information. Yes. All right. 1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8-4891. That is my social security number.
Anyways, we put up the show on YouTube Tuesdays through Fridays. Friday we put up the full show. Tuesdays through Thursdays we put up a clip of this show. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can just capture the little bits. And then if you want to catch the audio, you can get that on Tuesday. It goes up on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Android or Google Podcasts. If it's not there, let me know. I'll put it on there. And social media at Some Shit We Like. Facebook.com/SSWL Network. Bryce usually does all this talking. I don't as much know the spiel, but anyways, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. So until next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.